Next we have Hellblade.
Which I think there's a sequel to that, coming out.
I have not played that yet.
Yeah, we haven't checked that out. That was.
But it looks like it's an interesting game. Next we have Hollow Knight. Ooh, fantasy violence and mild blood.
Mild
It's not
blood.
for you. Don't look over
You
your eyes.
have a lot of like indie platformer type stuff.
I love indie
a lot of
games.
your
Indie
type
games are
things.
like my thing.
Yeah.
You know what's not my thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna move your Mimiris. He's in my
My
way.
Mimir.
Yeah.
You know
Let's
what's
go watch us from up here.
Ooh. What's not my thing is Horizon Zero Dawn. I tried to really like this. I should probably go back at some point and try and play it again, but I
have
just
zero
couldn't-
interest.
I couldn't get into it, and I know everyone else just like loves it. Nobody else has a problem, but for some reason,
I don't get it either. It's not just you.
I can't.
Yeah.
I couldn't get
didn't
into
like
it for some reason, and I don't. It looks so pretty, and I just really want to play it, but I just can't.
Yeah, wasn't my thing.
This is a point and click with the classic point and click logic that makes no sense whatsoever. The Inner World, and it comes with the prequel, Inner World with Inner World Last Monk. So both of those together. Really short games. Definitely entertaining, but the logic, I don't understand the logic.
Probably not one you revisit, I think. I feel like you enjoyed your
Maybe
time
at some
with it,
point,
but maybe
yeah.
not.
Yeah, I mean, great story,
Yeah.
just weird leaps in
Yeah.
logic.
Happy we were able to get this.
This was,
A classic game. For me, I know a lot of people are gonna... To me, this was the last great Naughty Dog game. I love that era of Naughty Dog.
I don't agree with that.
I'm sorry. To me, like... we'll get to your. I know which ones you're talking about, and we'll get to those. But to me, let's phrase it. When I think of Naughty Dog, when you look at their logo, to me, it reminds me of like Crash Bandicoot, and like that era, and that the pinnacle of that was Precursor Legacy. I bought that immediately when it first came out on PS2. Loved it. Really happy to be able to have this version from Limited Run Games on the PS4. This is one that we were trying to find for years.
Yeah.
And eventually got a copy. So really excited because that's just an
can't
all-time
believe
classic to me.
Limited Run has been
Great.
doing some things, like redoing them as a PS5, and I just don't understand.
They might not have their
Other
deal with
things that
Sony.
have sold out like crazy.
Yeah, but a
they
lot of
just
those are
haven't.
smaller studios, and this is a Sony-owned. Like maybe.
I
They
don't
have
know.
to deal
It just
with that.
it seems weird that it hasn't been redone on the PS5 yet. This is a super fun game. This is called KO the Kangaroo. This is such a like 90s N64 platformer.
Yeah.
It did have a couple of problems. At one point, I like fell through the screen and got stuck and had to restart.
Yeah, I watched you
everything.
play a little bit of it, and
The
it seemed to be
music-
glitching pretty crazy.
The music stopped a couple times. It was very weird. There were weird noises, but super fun game. Voice acting was, but definitely a fun experience. And I think that was I want to say like GameCube or something, or
I don't remember, whatever the last one that was originally.
There was something-
'cause this is
something
a brand
else.
New one,
It's a
but
franchise.
Or like Dreamcast or something.
yeah. And
like
I'd
that.
never played anything else, but it just looked super fun. And then Kaze, I loved Kaze.
One of your 2D platformers.
Yeah, they're fun.
That
I
looked
like them.
interesting.
Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. This is such a beautiful game, and I feel like nobody ever talks about this one.
Yeah, I haven't heard
This
a lot.
was such a great like adventure
Yeah.
platformer.
Well, and it looks
puzzle
very
game?
much like an animated movie. Like, not just the
Yes.
level of quality, but the art style felt very movie.
And I love the voice acting and just the atmosphere and the music was just it was beautiful. This was a work of art. This was so beautiful and I loved it. Next we have one that you love. This is Stefan's favorite game.
This was my least favorite gaming experience
so
of
mean.
2023.
This is Kiwi. This is
Hated this game.
This is just kind of I don't know if you'd call it a party game.
It is kind of, because it's like almost impossible with one person. I mean,
Yeah, it's very I tried to play this myself and
it just doesn't feel right.
you
like,
can't. But you play as a Kiwi and you're just doing
Like
these
running
little-
the mail.
Yeah, you're running the mail.
In like
It's
some of the
just-
most like obnoxious mini games I've ever played.
Yeah, it's basically just a bunch of mini games.
Yeah, you had
but
way,
it's
I obviously did not like that game. You had more fun.
Stefan was not
I
cooperative.
was not.
We tried to play
digging
this
it.
together,
Yeah,
and
I was not.
it didn't go well.
Yeah.
But we tried. Next, we have one that I also tried,
Yes.
and I
don't
did
know
not
why.
did not have a good time.
Which is bizarre
This is
because yeah.
Klonoa 1 and 2.
Because as you can tell from a lot of the games that we like, where she is the platformer person, I'm not. There's some rare exceptions like Jack and Daxter, but in general, I'm not big on platformers. But for some reason, you are terrible at these games.
I am horrible.
And I am great at them. I don't. It makes no sense because I love these ever since the first one on PS1 and then the PS2 and then I love the remake of the first one on the Wii. So I had to get this. I absolutely had to support this, and especially when they came out, Bandai Namco said, the sales of this could determine a possible Klonoa 3. He's like, well, I'm buying it on every platform. So bang, just amazing collection.
Bang.
Two of the greatest platformers ever. Let's not talk about this.
This is The Last of Us Remastered. I have not yet beaten this. I played it for a while and
I
then
played
I stopped.
a bit on the PlayStation 3, the original version of it, years ago, and it was better as a TV show.
I liked the TV show a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of
The cover shooter type
The-
stuff.
the shooter-
And yeah.
and there are exceptions where I love the game so much that I'll put up with that, but
Yeah.
this is not my type of game.
I'm the same way. Story-wise, it was really enjoyable, but I don't know. I could
think-
talk about it forever about what.
I think that the story is really, really good.
Yeah, but it's
But
also not
I just-
I feel like the people that think it's the greatest story ever don't play a lot of story-based games. It's
I
good,
like
but it's
it, and
not.
I understand why a lot of people like it, but it's
Yeah.
not my type of game.
Yeah,
I probably
yeah.
will come back to it and try it again, but
Yeah, I will not.
it's a struggle for me to play those types of games. This is The Legend of Kay Anniversary. This was a PS1,
Two, and then I think I'm pretty sure this is basically a port of because it was remastered or remade for the Wii U. And
Okay.
then I think this is a port of that. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
You played
this
it. I
is-
didn't play that one.
This is just a
Yeah.
classic platformer game. I had some issues with a couple things, but it was enjoyable. This was, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. It's the Liar Prince, or the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. This is the same company that did the Cruel King.
Cruel King, that big beautiful
and the Great
box
Hero,
set, yeah.
and another storybook-esque game. The shading is so beautiful with the colors. I love it so much.
And the narration.
The
flow.
narration, I love that. The other one does that too. This one is more of, I guess you'd say, a puzzle
It's
platformer.
it's a partner puzzle because you always had the
Yeah, it was. I mean, I like the RPG one better, but this is a better story. I enjoyed this so much, and I really, really hope they do more because
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
they're so beautiful. Okay, and the next one, Little Dragon's Cafe, that I have spent way too much time.
Absurd. I wonder what your actual time is on that.
I don't want to know.
It's gotta be a lot.
I don't want to know, but I beat it, so a long time. But this is a super fun. I like this because it wasn't all about the cooking. It wasn't all about the gathering of materials. There was enough that I don't know. It was enough variation that it kept my attention longer. Next one we just got recently.
Yeah.
It's Lumos Mastermind Chronicles. I don't know. It was limited run. It was super cheap, and it looked cute.
There you go. One for the backlog.
One for the backlog. This is Manamadan or Manamadane.
Yeah, which I recently played. Studio does all the. I've really been getting into the more
Point clicky.
selective, well, more like the
Choose your own
choice-based
adventure.
games. Like a lot of, I've really been enjoying those. I want to play the rest of these because I played the main games in that series, and they did and what was the anthology called? Dark Pictures Anthology. This is the first one of those. They made a lot of shorter ones that came out kind of like budget games, and they're great for what they are. They're fun little, enclosed little stories, and I like the variety with your choices form the story. It's find it to be relaxing and fun.
Yeah, I think as you get older, you like
Yeah,
those.
I don't need all the
lot
high
more.
octane crazy
Ah.
button mashing. Yeah.
This is Medieval. I really, really had a fun time with this. This was PS1.
Yep, I remember playing that back in the day.
This is so much fun, and I was really excited when they said they were going to make another one for
I feel like they canceled that now.
I feel like they did too. I don't know if you've heard anything.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything in like a million
Medieval
years.
2 was pretty good. I played that on PS1 also. That was
and
pretty
that's
good.
what they're supposed to be.
Yeah, and you loved that remake.
I really wish they would make more remakes or remasters.
Yeah, PS1.
So
era.
much fun.
I
And
feel
I
like that's
love-
half the time remakes of PS1 and 2 games are better than a lot of the new stuff coming out. I feel like
I don't
a lot
know
of
that I
times.
would
I feel like
necessarily.
a lot of
I
times.
think that adds so much to the PS4 and PS5 library.
Yeah, having those older as well.
And I
yeah.
think that really helps
Yeah.
the library as a
Yeah.
whole. I think personally, as someone who really hasn't experienced
Yeah.
the previous generations to the extent that you have,
Yeah.
I think that makes this better. Just
Well, I
because I can play all of these
play
games
this,
all together.
and that's why
They
our
don't
PS4
cost $1 million.
Yeah, that's why our PS4 collection is so huge, because most consoles are not both of us want playing it a lot. It's usually one or the other. Like DS was a little more you, and like PSP was entirely me. You don't even touch it. So like all those consoles, this is one of the few times where we're both playing games, and it's both new and old games. So like if you took out just all my games, it'd be less smaller. Took out all the old games, like it was just it's more variety.
We have
Monkey King.
the Monkey King.
Yeah.
Was it the hero is back?
Yeah.
This was a
We got Black Myth Wukong early. No.
yeah, not quite. This was a really good platformer game.
Yeah, for a budget action game, like a movie. This is a movie tie-in to a Jackie Chan, but they didn't get Jackie Chan to voice him in the game. To
I
an
prefer
animated
the voice.
Jackie Chan. Well, the movie was just okay, but that was
Yeah, the movie was
that was a fun experience. The movie and the game, but the game was better than the movie. Yeah, but if you see it's cheap, it's actually worth picking up for like a budget action game.
It's really well
It
done.
was really fun. It was fun. We both enjoyed it. I'd actually play that one again. Like
Next is another controversial one.
this one's pretty. Why
This
is-
was
why
so
is it controversial?
It's controversial because of the company that made it.
Oh, okay.
Is
I'll say that game's cool.
First Press Games, which is a German company, I believe. And some people are not getting their things.
Okay. Is
If
that the
it-
one with the cat?
There is a cat, yes.
Okay.
There's a black cat. But this is Mulaka, and it comes in this absolutely gorgeous slipcover. I love the side slipcovers; they're so beautiful. And then it's just this like absolutely beautiful edition,
Yeah.
and like this is heavy because this has a really big manual, like a thick
Cool looking
manual.
game too. It's pretty. Like
And-
the art wise.
I mean, this is like this is massive. You can't tell. This is huge.
And full color.
Full color. But it's a beautiful, beautiful game, and I really like a lot of their games. It's a shame because it takes so long to import all the way.
If you get them.
If you get, I
I've
haven't
heard.
had any issues.
You said once you mentioned the name, I was like, I've heard people.
I
have
haven't
issues.
had any
Yeah, you
issues
haven't had any.
personally, but I've always gotten games that are already out.
Yeah.
I think this one I did pre-order, but it was like basically pending deliveries at that point. So I haven't personally had any issues, but if you're getting something brand new from them,
Yeah.
I don't know. Ugh. Here.
It's
You
one
can
of
have
those
these.
weird like. They've been, especially limited run. It's been weird the number of like Sega CD type games coming out. I mean, and 3DO, like they just said, plumbers don't wear ties, and like there's a limit to. We have two different versions, PS5 and 4 of Night Trap, and this one has the cool like 32X style on the spine.
I like that they changed
but,
that
yeah.
for the PS5. I really like that.
Yeah, and because this is more the classic Sega CD coloring
Yeah.
styles of the 32X version. But yeah, I love like reminiscing, and the one thing that really made me want to get this game was not just a period in time, but all the extras, having a documentary elements,
Yeah,
behind
it's
the
really
scenes
cool.
stuff, be able to just kind of watch all the scenes, because a lot of times when you're playing it, you're moving from camera so fast, you're missing the story.
Yeah.
So like, I like that.
Next, we have more RPG
Oh yeah,
goodness.
this is it's so frustrating. The RPGs. Back when you're like a kid and you could just play them like endlessly. Sometimes like Ni no Kuni, I love on the PS3. I played on PS3. Great. I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan. Big level 5 fan of Rogue Galaxy. Is amazing. I should remaster that. But Ni no Kuni, incredible. I want to play Ni no Kuni 2, and the reason why I haven't yet is because at first I want to replay the first one, but that's another 40, 50 hours. So we have the remaster, and then eventually I'll get to Ni no Kuni 2. So I haven't played 2 yet. I'd love to know what you think about it, because the opinions seem to be very mixed on 2. But I love the first one.
It's a beautiful game. Next one we have is The Order 1886. I feel like this is the biggest problem for, I think it started in the PS3 generation with when they started to be able to do shooting games. I feel like it just went over the deep end.
Well,
And
that style of
I don't-
over-the-shoulder camera.
I don't like shooting
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at them. And I think it takes away so much from the story and the characters and everything. And I love collecting things. I do not like collecting guns.
Yeah.
I do not like collecting ammo. Not my thing. This is a great story, and I think this would be the beginning of a great franchise. It set itself up for that. And
But I think the difference is
Beautiful.
you paid like $5 for it, and I think
Yes.
people were upset back in the day. I remember reading because people were paying, what, $50, $60, and it was
Yes.
a short little experience.
Yeah,
they felt ripped off.
we
Like,
got this extremely cheap, and this was, for what it was, I think it was a great game. Would I take the shooting out? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. This is another
gotta
one
get
that...
on number 2. Yeah, these classic games, again, these are some of my favorites. This is a great Sega Saturn game, and I love this, true to the game, remake. It feels almost more like a remaster. Like,
And
it just
Panzer
feels so
Dragoon,
true.
all of them are on rails except for the RPG?
Yeah, because Orta is also for the original Xbox, which I'm surprised they haven't made that for Xbox One or anything. But anyway, but at least they did, 1, and they're supposedly doing 2.
Limited Run did that one?
Yeah, Limited Run released it, yeah. But the studio, because Sega is not doing them themselves, they're outsourcing it to this really small company that did the House of the Dead 1 and 2. Or the House of the Dead 1 remake. They're doing House of the Dead 2 and Panzer Dragoon 2. I hope they get on it, because these are great. I love those games.
You know what's not great and what I'm not looking forward to this year?
Yeah. This is, yeah.
I'm not
Well,
looking forward.
I'm going to get some hate for saying this, but then I have to explain. Persona 5. I like it, but hugely overrated. People get obsessed with it. I love Persona 3 and 4, and I just liked Persona 5. It wasn't as good as the other ones. You hate Persona,
Yes.
and the Persona 3 remake releases on your birthday, so you're like, ugh. But Persona 5, it's a good game, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't like it as much as the older ones.
I don't like any of them.
Yeah. Baby, 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 baby.
Over and over in my soul.
Burn my bread.
Puyo Puyo Tetris. This is... I really like games like this. This is just a fun puzzle game.
Yeah.
Has multiple different... Because you have Puyo Puyo and Tetris together.
That was one of our first PS4 games.
This
I
was
think.
one of the
That was,
first,
like,
yeah.
First 5 games
I
we
don't
got.
know why you would buy Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. If you
want
had
more?
Puyo Puyo Tetris
mean-
1. It's Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Again.
That's what it is.
Again.
This was a failed Amiga game, I believe. Putty Squad. It's fine. It's just, old school game, but nothing fantastic.
That's part of the
but
fun, getting these
part of the
older
fun. We
games,
get,
variety.
especially when you pick it up really cheap. I think PS4, so much more than the Switch. So affordable.
Yeah.
Especially right now. You can find so many great games
Yeah.
for super cheap,
Including
including The
Quarry,
Quarry.
which you have not played this yet. You need to
I
check
have
it out.
not. I
This is
saw who was
great.
in it.
This is like one of the best of those kind of your choices form the narrative type games, and I would replay to make multiple choices. And
But you said
I
that
think-
one's bigger than Man of Medan.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's like 10 times bigger. Like those are much shorter. Those are all shorter than what's the first one?
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn. Those are all even much shorter than that. Like they're really small. They release like one a year. This is again, this is the biggest one that this particular company has done. Supermassive Games, and it's fantastic. This is great.
You know what's better than great?
What?
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Well, one
Well,
and
I guess
7
7
or whatever
8,
it is. Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Rift Apart was amazing.
Yes,
That
yeah.
was so good.
Yeah.
I didn't want this to be my favorite game,
It was
and
great.
it was my favorite game
And
of
the
last
remake
year.
of the original game.
This was really fun. I really enjoyed this, and I'm glad you finally played it. 'Cause
Yes. Because I had played
You played-
I played on PS2, the original version, and some of the other ones. But the remake was still pretty good. It included a lot of stuff from relation to the movie as
Yeah.
well. But it was good. But again, it was just good. Yeah, Rift Apart was. They really need to get on a sequel to this. Maybe after they finish Wolverine and those other things, because
So
I
you
want to see them.
play your
yeah.
girlfriend again.
Yeah, they're great. Oh, it's
Yeah.
it's a Root Letter Day 1 edition. This is a, re-release and a remake, kind of a visual novel, because I think the original was just the anime style, and this
Okay.
one has that completely, and it has the images redone with live-action actors,
Oh,
which I think was unique.
That's weird.
You correct me if I'm wrong if you know. I think that's unique to this version, the PS4 and whatever.
and that's like
but-
a big box.
Because the original, I think, was Vita, I want to say.
Yeah.
But I had not played any of the original, but Root Letter, Last
I
Answer.
wish they were more affordable to get visual novels. It's just so expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like
Because it feels like because you spend like $6 on a book, and
yeah.
here you're getting the book.
$6. This is
You know
not
what
1995.
I know,
Jeez.
but you mean it's like a book with the extra. It's like with the sound and the extra. It's like I don't know. It just doesn't seem like $60, $70. A lot of them are crazy. Like
Yeah, I wish we could have more,
Yeah.
but they're just
yeah.
What's this?
Sega, come on, Sega. Sakura Wars. Loved this game. This was fantastic. I really wish they'd have a collection of the older games, especially because they were Japan only. Like, I'd play with like an online guide, looking at translations and looking back and forth. But they're great games. We finally got.
I feel like nobody has that. Has
this is
anyone
only-
played this?
Yeah, I feel like no one. Well,
I
it's
feel like this is a really
it's like
weird
the one.
Stefan game.
Yeah, it's like the
nobody
one
else
for the
has.
Wii and the PS2, which was the first one I got over here in English. Like, no one played that, and then they came out this one with the more action-based instead of the more tactical and the older ones. And this is great, and I feel like no one else has played it. But I wish this would sell so we can get. I'd rather have a remake of 3, like do the Paris one. That'd be cool.
We have Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. I have not played this yet. This is more. I don't know, because this is supposed to be kind of Harvest Moon-y?
Yeah, but with more
Kind of-
like action elements added
Yeah,
and stuff
more-
to it. I thought you'd play this one for some reason.
No, I haven't played that yet. We have a lot of games.
Well, I know.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you've realized.
Yeah, I know.
This one I haven't played either.
The remake and I had played originally the Super Nintendo, and they did a remake of the second game as well. And it's weird because I think the collection of the
I'm
old
so
ones is only
confused.
on the Switch.
I'm so confused because it's.
Well, because you have
There's a
the
collection.
Mana Collection, which is like the Game Boy game, and then the 2 Super Nintendo games, and then this is a remake of the second game, but the first one we got here, like the one that's just called Secret of Mana.
Why?
Very confusing. But they did remake the third one, and I think they're doing another Mana game as well.
Shadow of Mordor. There's a second one of this.
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I think there is.
Yeah, there's all kinds of. There's even a Golem game.
I'm not interested
A whole
in that.
bunch, yeah.
I don't think I'm interested in that. But what I am interested in,
Here's
and
one
what
of
I'm
your
going
big
to play this
collections,
year,
yeah.
this is my Shantae collection.
Yes.
I'm going to probably play all of these this
Because
year.
there's only. Yeah, you're going to replay, because there's only
Yes, this
2
is-
here you haven't played yet,
This
right?
is the most recent one we got, which is Shantae.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Risky's Revenge.
But this one you have not played yet, because it's the PS5 one. You got to
Yes.
play that in the living room.
And then this one I was really excited it finally came to PS5. This is why I think Jack and Daxter should come, because the Pirate's Curse, super duper expensive on the PS4. It's like insane, and the Switch, forget about it. Like, I would actually prefer this on the Switch, all these games.
Yeah,
But it's way too much
not
money.
affordable.
And then Half Genie Hero, I have played this one. This was so much fun. And this is just such a great, 90s. Like, it just feels like
Which was the
classic.
first one you played?
This is
one,
the only one that I
yeah,
played.
yeah.
And then Seven Sirens. Yeah, I haven't played any others.
Oh my gosh, you gotta get. So this is gonna be your year of Shantae.
This is going to be a year of
Now that you
Shantae.
finally grabbed them all, this is gonna be your
The
year
problem
of
is
Shantae.
going to be, can I get to the PS5? Because
During
I
the
don't know
flood
if
of
you
the
know
flood of
that,
RPGs.
but half of this year you are going to be just
Oh.
monopolizing
Yeah,
the PS5
yeah,
with
yeah.
your RPG-ness.
Yeah, yeah.
So